Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to go over anatomical directions. So, in front of you there is a human model. And the way the model is standing, it's called the anatomical position, where it's standing upright. Their feet are parallel and their arms are slightly out while their palms are facing forward and their thumb is away from the fingers. So, whatever we talk about in the video, it's going to be related to the anatomical position. So, if a person's lying down, you have to reimagine them standing up and going into this anatomical position. So, we're going to cover superior and inferior. So, we got our model in front. We're going to call the model Dave. So, on Dave's chest, I'm going to draw a mole, and I'm going to call that mole A. And I'm going to draw another mole in his abdomen, which I'm going to call mole B. So right now, if I tell you what's mole A compared to mole B, what would you say? Well, you would say that mole A is higher than mole B, while mole B is lower than mole A, and you would be correct. The problem is we don't use higher or lower or up or down. We use inferior and superior. So here, mole A compared to mole B, mole A is superior to B, right? It's above B, it's superior to B, while mole B is inferior to A. So we can also use that for the other parts of your body. For example, your eyes compared to your nipples, right? Well, your eyes are over here, and your nipples are over here. So which one is superior? So if I tell you what's your eyes compared to your nipples, what would you say? Well, you would say that your eye is above your nipples, so superior to your nipples, while your nipples compared to your eyes would be inferior because they're below. Now let's go over ventral and dorsal, which are also called anterior and posterior. The word ventral comes from venter, meaning belly, so you can think of ventral as the belly side of your body. The word dorsal or dorsum comes from dorsum, which means the back side of your body. So in humans, the ventral side is your front, so your chest and stomach, while the dorsal side is the back, so your spine. For example, your chest is going to be ventral to your spine, and your spine is going to be dorsal to your chest because they're on different sides of the body. Okay, so now we're going to do medial and lateral. Well, to understand medial and lateral, you first have to know about the midline. I have that labeled over here. The midline is an invisible line running alongside the center of your body, and it's separating your right half from your left half. Anything that is closer to the midline is known as medial, while if it's further away from the midline, it's lateral. So I'm going to draw a point. I'm going to draw a mole, call that mole A, okay. And I'm going to draw another mole, I'm going to call that mole B. And if I tell you what's mole A compared to mole B, what would you say? Well, you would first say that mole A is higher than mole B because it's closer to the cranial than mole B. So mole A is superior to mole B, and you would be correct. And also, mole A is closer to the midline than mole B, so it's also medial. So mole A is medial and superior to mole B. So that means mole B is inferior and lateral because it's further away from the midline than mole A. And you can do that with any part of your body. For example, your eyes and your ears. So if I tell you what's Dave's eye compared to his ear, what would you say? Well, you would say that his eye is superior, while it's medial because it's closer to the midline again. while his ear is inferior and lateral to his eye. Proximal and distal. Well, to understand these two, you need to know about the trunk of your body. The trunk of your body, also known as the attach point of your body, is located right over here. As you can see, your arms are attaching to it, your legs are attaching to it, while your head is even attached to it. And any point or anything closer to the trunk is known as proximal, while away from the trunk is known as distal. For example, I'm going to have a point over here. Again, we're going to call that point A. Well, I'm going to have another point over here. We're going to call that point B. Well, point A is closer to the trunk. So again, the trunk is over here. While point B is further away from the trunk. So point A is proximal to point B, while point B is distal to point A. Superficial and deep. Imagine one point on the skin. I'm going to draw that as black. And another point near an organ, deep inside the organ. I'm going to draw that one as blue. Okay. I'm going to do blue one over here. So the one near the surface of your body is going to be superficial. So the black point would be superficial to the blue point because it's located above or near the surface of your body. While the blue one would be deep because it's located deeper than the black one. And again, with all the examples, they can be the same as a real example. For example, veins and bones. Veins are superficial to bones, as bones are deep to veins. Because bones are located deep inside your body than veins are, while veins are located near the surface than the bones. So superficial and deep. Finally, we have ipsilateral and contralateral. Ipsilateral means when two structures are on the same side of the body. For example, mole A and mole B. They're on the same side, so they're ipsilateral to each other. While A and C or B and C are contralateral to each other because they're on different sides of the midline.